Yeah, I mean, some of them are a bit more tenuous than the others, and I
Yeah.
suspect by the time we get onto album number 50, they'll have absolutely nothing to do with milk at all.
And it's ooh la la la, ooh la la la, it's alright, it's alright.
And I always wonder how to start, but I'm just going to start with hello. Hello, Adam.
Hello, Emma.
How are you?
Yeah, good, all right, thank you. Yeah,
It's good to be talking to you. I've been playing your songs on the radio show for a while, and we've been talking on email for a while. Of course, we have to enjoy each other during this mini milk extravaganza. So it's nice to get to see you again. So let's talk about you then. So the Milkmen. Who are the Milkmen? Who are you? Tell us a bit about the band. How long have you been going? You know, that kind of thing. I'll just let you speak now.
well, the Milkmen, we bill ourselves as the cream of British kind of blues rock, because it goes with the milk thing and all that. But actually, we are four guys who've been around playing for a long time. I've been in the Mustangs for 20 years, who are sort of fairly well known on the scene, and Lloyd is Mick Green's son. Mick Green's a legendary guitarist from the British music scene, and he and the drummer Mike were in the Pirates, who were shaking all over and all that kind of stuff, and actually the singer Jamie and I, we grew up together. We're best mates, and he asked me a few years ago if I wanted to put a band together, because I was already in the Mustangs, and he asked me if I wanted to put a band together just for fun, because we'd been in signed bands together and stuff over the years, and it was all very pressured and all record deals and all that kind of stuff. And he said, let's just put a band together, play the songs that we love, that we never hear other bands playing, and go from there. And it kind of just snowballed, because before long we were writing songs and we were doing bigger and bigger gigs, and as is our nature, we just kept pushing it forward, and it sort of became the Milkmen, and it became a kind of, and here we are 4.5 albums down the line later, and doing festivals all over the country, and just generally being part of the scene, which is lovely.
It is. And do you think the Milkmen has taken over from your Mustang stuff, or is it kind of balanced?
Well, I think the Mustangs has a very natural kind of lifespan to it, and the Mustangs are still going, but there are a lot of things behind the scenes with the Mustangs that have prevented us from gigging as much, over the last few years. And I mean, everywhere I go, people ask me about the Mustangs, because we were together for a long time. We made 10 albums or so, and we played everywhere, all over the country and all over Europe and stuff. But the Derek, who was in the Mustangs, he left because he was quite a bit older than the rest of us, and he felt it was time to step back. And we've had a few other kind of issues behind the scenes, personal issues beyond our control, nothing between the guys in the band. We all know each other. I saw them yesterday for lunch. But I think the two can very much, because of the amount of work involved in both of them, the two can very much work in conjunction. But absolutely, because of the workload and because of where the energy and emphasis is at the moment, it's all Milkmen.
It's all about the Milkmen. And I love the theme of the album names as well. Full Phat, even though it's spelt Phat, full fat milk, and then Gold Top. Deliverance, you've kind of gone off the path with Deliverance.
Slightly. Well, we were running
milk
out
delivery rounds. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, some of them are a bit more tenuous than the others, and I suspect by the time we get onto album number 50, they'll have absolutely nothing to do with milk at all. But the lovely thing is, when we came up with the name, Jamie and I, we just wanted something really simple and unpretentious. We're thinking the Eagles, the Beatles, the Doors. Could it be the Chairs, the Clouds, the milk? The Milkmen. What we didn't realize at the time was how well it would serve us with these sort of puns, going forward. And now everybody gets involved. We have a lot of fans who sort of suggesting album titles and things like that. And some of them are really good, and we'll probably use them at some point down the line. But no, it is fun. It is fun sort of, playing with that kind of, the puns and the imagery and stuff. And we work with it on our newsletters and in our posts and stuff. And people don't seem to be sick of it just yet. So
no,
they will be by album number 50, though.
milk it for a bit longer. Yeah, can't you?
Oh, you had to go there, didn't you?
Had to be done. So we've talked about the how the band got started and everything. What year was that you got started? Because I don't think I know.
Well, Jamie and I, the actual band started about 10 years ago, I think. But a lot of that, the first 5 years of that was really just sort of gigging, doing covers and stuff. We weren't a band in earnest, really trying to push forward and make a name for ourselves on the scene. So I suppose it's 2016 we released Full Phat. That was the year when Lloyd and Mike joined, you see. And that's when everything changed, and suddenly all four milkmen were driving the same milk float, as it were.
So we have had the Who, the Milkmen, where I believe you are all in the same area of the UK.
Well, if you mean the southern part of the UK, yes, you're right. But Jamie and I have always lived near each other. He lives, a mile down the road. I'm in South London, and Lloyd and Mike are kind of over Essex way, northeast London, Essex, that sort of area. So we kind of, meet in the middle, end up rehearsing in the middle of London.
You're all very well dressed, aren't you? That's one of the thing about the Milkmen. That is your thing. I mean, you're slumming it right now. What have you got? A long T-shirt on there or something?
I've got a thin sweater on, yeah.
I mean, I thought you might have made a bit more of an effort.
If I was Mike, I would have made an effort. If I was Mike, I would be dressed to the absolute nines in front of you now, because Mike is the best dressed musician on the scene, bar none.
Yeah.
No, I think that's kind of very much part of it. What we want to do, we go on stage and we want to put on a show, and the clothes are part of the show and they become a talking point. Mike wears these tailor-made suits and he keeps them on for the whole gig, and Jamie's got these lovely velvet jackets, and Lloyd's got these sort of, silk ties and all this kind of stuff. I'm the one who slums it, to be honest. I'm very much the, in fourth place as far as the sort of best dressed stakes go. But that's okay. I keep it a little bit rock and roll, I do. The others are a bit more cabaret, but I mean that in the kindest possible way, because it's a show, and we love playing and we love putting on the show. And actually, you can be backstage and you can be like, another gig, we got to really turn it on tonight. But then as soon as you put on the clothes and you look in the mirror, you think, okay, this is the uniform. Let's get out there and do it. So it serves a purpose as well. It gets you in the zone.
I agree. I think it's great to make a bit of an effort when you're going out on stage. And as you say, it's a talking point. Other bands have different outfits. The Hives, is it the Hives or the Vines? The Hives, they always wear black and white.
The Hives wear black and white, yeah.
Yeah, and they're very well dressed. And then you've got the White Stripes. That they've got a theme, haven't they? Black, white, and red.
I mean, it's good. Great. I mean, it costs a bloody fortune in dry cleaning, but
I was going to say, because Mike is the drummer and Mike is the one with the, the proper outfits.
Yeah.
He's got to sweat, and he's going to have dripping wetsuits.
Well, I think he does, but that's a side of Mike we never see. He keeps that side of himself. I don't think I've ever heard Mike mention dry cleaning or sweating, but I know he does. So
maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's a god.
Maybe, yes. Maybe he's a drumming. He is a drumming god anyway. We know that.
Yes.
But no, people do now, call us the guys in the suits or the best dressed band on the circuit and stuff. And that's all cool. It's all great. Whether we are or we're not, we'll take it. It's lovely.
No, it's great. I think it's a really good image. I love it. So we've done the who and the where. So shall we do why? The why. So
why bother?
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? You're rubbish.
What is wrong with you? Why music? The music industry sucks.
Get a proper job.
Exactly. So well, I mean, I'm talking to you, so we might as well just have you answering that question rather than answering on behalf of the other three guys. So why music for you? Why?
Do you know what? I can actually answer this. I can answer this on behalf of everyone to a degree, but certainly for me, I grew up around music. My mum was a folk singer, professional folk singer. There were always guitars around the house and she was always singing, and I think by osmosis just picked a lot of that up. And then when I was about 7, I heard the Beatles for the first time, and it was that cliche, just a light went off, and I spent the next few years just playing a tennis racket in front of the mirror until I'd actually learned how to play properly, and started writing songs immediately, and that was it. And then I met Jamie when I was 11 at school, and we just clicked immediately, and here we are, 100 years later. Which is lovely. I mean, it's lovely, being on stage in front of 2,000 people with your best mate, playing songs you've written together that people are singing along to. I mean, that's just a wonderful thing. So, that's why, because you're just having, an absolute blast. But of course, Lloyd's dad was a musician, so I suspect it was very similar for Lloyd. And Jamie's mum. She played the piano. She loved music, and she sang as well. She loved jazz. And Mike, why did Mike become a drummer? You might have to ask Mike, actually. Maybe
text him now.
I'll take. Why did you become a drummer?
WhatsApp him now.
Yeah, he'd be like,
why?
What?
Or just send the question. Just why?
Yeah, why?
See what
why Mike Roberts?
See what he comes up with.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's very good. So the big question of our 4 questions. I mean, I don't know how I can get this down to 4 questions. I like to talk. Is what? So what is going on with the Milkmen?
What the hell do you think you're doing?
There's so many whats. There are so many whats. But what are you working on at the minute? And I know the answer to this, but I want you to tell everybody viewing and listening what's going on.
We had a really successful start to the year when we headlined. I say headlined. We closed the Saturday night of the Skegness Rock and Blues Festival, and it was wonderful. It was great. And before we knew it, we had a whole summer full of shows booked and everything. We just released the new album, but we had the idea that to help promote the summer shows, we'd put together an EP. And the EP would be our most popular live songs, but we'd re-record them, remaster them, re-edit them, make them really radio friendly, and just, real kind of perfect little half pints of pop rock kind of thing. And and so we put that together, and there's 5 songs we chose, they seem to go very well together, and we thought, well, we want to, let's get this on the radio, let's get this out there, let's get people hearing it. It serves as also, because our following is growing and growing and growing really quickly, we thought it would be a nice little sampler, sort of best of sampler, or sort of, most popular song sampler for people who don't have an album yet and stuff. But and that's it really. So, the mini milk is kind of where we're at, and that's our thing for the summer before our next album comes out.
Well, it's an amazing little thing. You've kind of brushed that under the carpet. The mini milk EP is out. It's the mini milk EP. Oh, look at how fantastic that name is again. And exactly, I just love it. The mini milk EP. I just think it's great. The title and all the songs. So let's delve into it a little bit more, because I'm not going to just do 4 questions. So Little Miss Attention. Let's talk about Little Miss Attention, shall we? What can you tell me about that little beauty?
Well, Little Miss Attention is the only song that is a co-write between me, Jamie, and Lloyd. Normally, Lloyd writes on his own or with his friend David, and I write with Jamie. But we that was originally on Deliverance, and we released Deliverance just as COVID hit. So we had this album and this song that we wanted to get out there, but we couldn't gig it. So we spent a long time building up our online presence and our social media. We did a video for the song, and it became very quickly, our most popular song, I think. And so it was an obvious choice to re-record and edit down a bit, when Mini Milk was being done. So that's where that came from. I mean, it's a brilliant song to play live. People love it, and it's lovely because it's got such a catchy chorus. That people who've never heard it before, they're singing away by the time the chorus comes around the second time. And it's you see that all the time. And again, that's just a lovely thing to do, to play a song you've written and see people getting off on it.
Who doesn't like a good ooh la la?
Exactly. You cannot beat a catchy ooh la la in music. You definitely can't.
It's a no-brainer, it's an absolute no-brainer. Great song. I had it on in the house yesterday. My 19-year-old daughter was singing along before the second chorus. She goes, "Oh wow, I like this." She never likes anything I play, literally. Brilliant. But she likes you. And my other half, he's really into it as well. And I was like, well, great. This, you appeal to the 19-year-olds and the 50-something-year-olds and everyone in between and older. So yeah,
can't say better than that, can you?
You cannot say better than that. So Little Miss Attention, and it's great that little Miss Attention is getting the attention that she deserves, that she craves. So she's doing very well, going down a storm. So well done to her and well done to you. Yeah. And we move on to track 2 of the Mini Milk EP. She Don't Like Rock and Roll. What's all that about?
Well, she don't like rock and roll. She this was on our first album, and then Jamie and I were writing songs for the first record, and I had the riff, and then it grew very, very quickly from that. And Jamie's really good lyric writer. I think his lyrics are really witty, and he's very bright, and the lyrics reflect that, and they're quite they're funny, and they're sort of charming in a way, and we're all massive Chuck Berry fans. So She Don't Like Rock and Roll has that real kind of syncopated Chuck Berry kind of groove with the words that I think Jamie's nailed, and it was obvious very early on that was going to be a popular song, because like Little Miss Attention, people just kind of picked up on it and started singing it, and now it's a great one to do live because we kind of extend it a bit and we get people singing along, and it's over the years sort of overall probably our most popular live song, I think, probably, and a great fun to play because it's just a rock and roll song, and it's with a very funny, appealing lyric, I think,
And it sounds great on the radio too.
Yeah, it does sound great on the radio. It's that lovely story, that cliche about, you've got some boyfriend who's massively into rock and roll, probably even plays in a band, and he's sort of, come and watch me play. And, she'd rather go to a sort of Drake concert or an Adele concert or something like that, because she don't like rock and roll. She's not into guitars.
She's got issues.
She's got issues. She's not right for you, Jamie. Leave her. Okay,
so moving on our little Mini Milk exploration. Track 3, Shoot the Lights. Tell us about that.
Well, Shoot the Lights is from our second album, Gold Top. And Jamie and I had a long evening together writing for Gold Top, with lots of imbibement, if that's a word. I don't know, but
very posh word. Does that mean alcohol?
Yeah. That's an easy way to put it. We had loads to drink.
Come on.
we were just writing loads of songs, and that was one of the songs. It was a really great night because half of Gold Top was written that evening. We just sort of drank and wrote into the early hours, and I think Shoot the Lights was part of that session, and it's a really good opener. It's a statement song. It's got a big riff at the start and it's got big beats and it really motors along. So it's a fantastic song to play live, and it's a great song to open the show with because it's has a lot of impact. And then we got Wayne Proctor, who's a really great mixer producer and on the scene, who's done our last 2 or 3 projects, and he remixed it and took it to another level again. So it sounds amazing. So we love it.
Me too.
We love Wayne. We love you, Wayne.
Yes, Wayne. Big up the Wayne. There's not enough Waynes in the world.
There's not enough Waynes in the world. There's Wayne's World. There's Wayne's World.
There's on.
Hey Wayne. The Constable painting. If we're not
Little
getting too highbrow.
Is that
Little Wayne?
Little Wayne.
Singing in the Wayne.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now, Adam, is going to play a song because this isn't working for me.
That was the best one, and you completely ignored it.
Which one?
Singing in the Wayne.
That that's the one that decided that we're not going to do these jokes anymore.
Okay. All right.
Very good. Well done. But Adelaide.
You shouldn't, though.
Adelaide is number 4. So,
Adelaide's got a slightly different story. Adelaide's a song that's been around for a long time. Jamie and I wrote that many, many years ago for a CD we made a long time ago that nobody ended up hearing. So we thought, well, we could redo this song and reimagine it with the Milkmen and get, Mike and Lloyd on it and adding their kind of magic to it. So that's an older song that we'd always had in the back of our minds we might re-record again one day if the opportunity came around, and it did with Spin the Bottle, the album. So and we love it, and it's it was terrific fun to play in the studio. It's a monster to play live, but it's great fun to play in the studio.
And that is on the current album. So we're going to call Spin the Bottle the current album.
Yes,
that's
yes,
good.
and then. But it's quite an epic kind of piece of music on Spin the Bottle. So we thought if we got Wayne in to help us edit it down to, a mini milk type of, serving. And that's what happened. So we've got, it's now befitting a mini milk inclusion.
Mm. It's a beautiful thing. I love that. I love the whole idea. I remember when you told me about the mini milk idea, I remember thinking, you know what? That's a really cracking idea. They've actually got some brains in there, as well as beauty and beautiful musicianship. That's a really good idea. So it's like a greatest hits. It's it's to tie in with all of the summer stuff that you've got going on, and I just don't think you can be faulted on it. And the
thank
name
you
as
very
well.
much.
Really, rah rah, yeah. So anyway, if I had an audience, they'd all be clapping now, but I've just got the dog. She's asleep over there. And we are talking about the 5th track on the Mini Milk EP from the Milkmen, The Operator. And I think you quite like this one. Is this one of your favourites?
Yeah,
I made that up.
No, it is one of my favourites, and it's certainly Mike's favourite. He loves this track. Again, this was on the 2nd album, Gold Top. And possibly came out from that evening. Jamie and I were writing. It's you know what? We started out very much as a kind of Dr. Feelgood type of band. That kind of real short, sharp, catchy pub rock type of vibe. And this song really does capture that sort of feelgood sort of vibe. I think it is very short, sharp, and catchy, and it's a real staple of our live show because it's one of those ones that just gets people and hooks them in straight away. I mean, our whole ethos as a band is we don't want to be kind of doing 10-minute guitar solos and any of that kind of thing. We just want to write short, sharp, catchy blues rock songs and get that energy and that fun and sort of joy of playing across when we're on stage, and hopefully we do. And this song sums all that up really, really nicely because it is a lot of fun, and again, it's a cracking little lyric, which is fun to sing and play along to and stuff. So, yeah, it's sort of 2.5 minutes of pure undiluted Milkman. This one, yeah,
it's great. I think it's great. And you mentioned Dr. Feelgood, and there is a Dr. Feelgood vibe, and people have commented on that. Some of the radio DJs that have been playing probably Little Miss Attention, I think. And they have said, feels a bit Dr. Feelgood-y. So there is a Dr. Feelgood connection. So can you tell us about that?
Well, there's a few. I mean, the biggest one really is that Lloyd's dad, Mick, wrote Going Back Home with Wilko Johnson. Wilko Johnson's idol was Mick Green, and which he's openly talked about and written about. And they were friends. And I think Lloyd even remembers Wilko coming round the evening that they wrote this in the back room in Lloyd's house. And then, many, many years ago, Jamie and I went to see Dr. Feelgood together, and we were just transfixed. We'd never seen anything so sort of powerful and direct and unpretentious before. We'd grown up, Queen fans and Iron Maiden fans and all this kind of proggy, pompous sort of stuff, which we still love. But Dr. Feelgood was a different thing entirely. You know, it was very, very kind of in your face, and it was no BS and all that kind of stuff. So when it came to putting a band together, you know, we felt that was kind of where we wanted to go. We wanted to keep it really, really punchy and tight and clean and no nonsense. And we've played now with Dr. Feelgood and Wilco over the years quite a few times, and we know the guys in Dr. Feelgood really well now. We've played with them many times, and they're a lovely bunch of guys and really, really supportive. And they've had us as special guests at a lot of their shows, which is so there's kind of a lovely sort of, you know, synergy and a sort of, you know, the circle has been squared off. The circle has been squared off. The square has been circled. You know what I mean?
The circle is a circle. It's gone full circle. It's great.
Yes.
And you have got a date with Dr. Feelgood near the end of the year, isn't it? And I've got to say, the gig list that you sent me is rather large. You should be very proud of the size. So well done for having so many great gigs to come. Do you have a booking agent, or are you doing it yourself? What's how does this happen?
No, we do it ourselves. We manage ourselves as well. Well, you know, it's all really from reputation. We you know, at the risk of sounding a little full of ourselves, our shows seem to be really popular, and people have written some very, very lovely things about us. And as I've said before, our shows are just we just try and spread a little bit of joy. I know that sounds a bit naff and, you know, a bit, but it really is true. We go on stage and we have such a good time, and people tell us that really transmits to the audience. And every time we do a show, the phone keeps ringing the week after of people who saw us or who recommended us to another promoter, and they want to get us down to their venue, and that's it really. I mean, a lot of the gigs are repeat gigs because we've played there before and they wanted us back, but a lot of them, particularly this year, are people who've heard about us. You know, we get emails, saw you at Skegness, got to have you at our venue, or have had people, you know, badgering me to get you in at our venue. So can you do this show? So that's how we've ended up with a really, really healthy kind of gig list for this year, and also going into next year and beyond.
Wow. And are you playing just in the UK at the moment? Do you do any other dates outside of the UK?
This year we're just in the UK, but we are going to Ireland next year, which will be fantastic. We're going to do a festival in Ireland. We are looking at shows in we've talked about doing shows in Europe. You know, there's the possibility of some stuff in Germany and Switzerland, but you know, post Brexit, that's all a bit of a faff to organise. So it has to be worthwhile. You know, at the risk of sounding like a party pooper, you know, we can't go there and make a massive loss.
No, it's hard.
Admin and stuff that needs to be done now. But such is politics. Such
is being in a band and, you know, trying to do things in bands.
Well, this is the problem, because we manage ourselves. We'd have to do all that ourselves, you know. But you know, we might maybe we'll employ a road manager just to sort of sort us out going into Europe. Yeah,
maybe it might be worth doing. I think you'd probably go down very well over there.
Well, we're very busy artists. We just don't have time to do all this paperwork.
Don't ask me to do it. It's hard enough keeping up with your plugging. Oh gosh. Be nice though, wouldn't it? It'd be lovely to have somebody. Yes, I've booked you on the so-and-so flight. You'll have a car come to collect you outside. We'll drop you in the meet and greet VIP area, and then you just take your luggage. We'll sort everything.
That sounds great. That's kind of thing the Stones get, you know, but they're on a slightly different level to us.
Only a slightly different level though, Adam, slightly. To be fair. Just, you know, they've been around a little while. So, yes, lots of festival appearances and other dates as well. So how can people, I mean, we can't really list them now. It'd take too long. How can people listening and watching this find out more about coming to see the Milkmen live? We have a website, which is themilkmenmusic.com, and that's got videos on it and song clips and all the gigs and merchandise. You get T-shirts and mugs and posters and all those, you know, stuff, and all our albums. And
We also have a really healthy Facebook page, which is the Milkmen Rock Band, on Facebook, and we're always putting stuff on there, and there's backstage photos and then photos of the gigs, and it's good fun. Our latest post is shots of us playing live with some sort of rather daft captions, and it's there's a kind of nice vibe we try to get going with everything we do, and so people really get involved on the Facebook page, which is lovely. And we also, through the website, actually, you can become a Milkman, join our subs club, which is completely free. And that goes out at least 4 times a year with really in-depth exclusive interviews and exclusive song clips and videos and things like that. So that's a nice thing to be part of. And that's really growing fast as well. So all of that is really, really healthy.
Oh, is it like a gold top membership? Do you have a gold top membership?
Well, do you know what? That's a good idea, and that's something we should probably, that's something we might have to investigate. Yeah,
you run out of money, you start running the gold top, and yes, there's lots of things that you could use the name for.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, so website milkmenmusic.com, and on Facebook, it's The Milkmen Rock Band, isn't it? It's not Milkmen Rock Band.
It's The Milkmen. Yeah, and
The Milkmen Rock
we
Band.
are The Milkmen, 3 words. Dotted around the world, there are a couple of bands or acts who call themselves The Milkmen.
It's a disgrace. How dare they?
Well, we'd sue if we could, but we are The Milkmen. So always look out for the three words.
Yes, and you're doing well on Spotify. You're on the old Spotify.
Oh yeah, we are on Spotify. Yeah, and we're on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel as well. We can see all our videos, and we've got we occasionally do fun things like Meet the Milkmen, where we talk about ourselves, because we just love talking about ourselves, as you can probably tell, and and we talk about records we like and stuff like that. So we just, we try and do things which are kind of a little bit outside the box.
And I think what you do on Facebook is really good. I saw that post that you were talking about with the photos, and you've just taken photos of, different facial expressions or positions on stage, or, whatever, a leg's up here or an arm's up here, and Jamie's thinking this, Adam's thinking this. I think that's really good. And it's engaging, isn't it? And I think what bands these days struggle with is engaging their audience, and it's, but to be honest, it's not that hard. You just have to think about things, and I think you guys have nailed it. So
well, I think we kind of know our audience, because we love talking to them after shows. We make a lot of friends. And so when you get to know your audience, you're a bit more comfortable about what you're going to post and how you present yourselves. And they've really bought into what we're doing. They know that we don't take ourselves too seriously at all, but they know that they're going to get a hell of a show. They know that they like the songs, and they know we can play, and they know we put on a show. So that seems to be quite an appealing package for people. And then we can, take that further with, really silly Facebook posts. But that therein lies the sort of thing again. The pictures are actually all really good photos, but the captions, of course, are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're great. I think everybody should check out the Facebook page right now. And just as a sort of sideline question, so you've been, in the music industry for a long time, even though you're only about 30. You claim to have been in the industry for a very long time. I mean, the math doesn't really add up. Yeah. So what is the secret of your longevity, your success? I mean, what are the key things that you could maybe, show other people that, this is how you survive the industry, or, any sort of top tips kind of sort of stuff that I've sprung this on you, so you might not be able to answer it, but
I started playing semi-professionally when I was 15, and when you're a teenager and you're thinking about being, in music, you dream of being a rock star, so when you're 16 years old and you're in your first band, you want all the trappings that come with that. You know, you think it's a glamorous life, but the music business itself has changed so much over the years that the goal, and of course, as you get older, you become a bit more realistic and you realize that that's not necessarily what you want. So your goalposts are constantly shifting. They're changing. So what once was an ambition to be a rock star with a house in the country and 100 million gold records on the wall and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, you wake up one day and you think, actually, success is really just being able to make a living out of music, being able to make a living out of what you love doing. And I think once we stopped second guessing the market and trying to be, you know, this, I'm going back a while now, you know, once you stop trying to sort of be a star and a rock star and, you know, get a big record deal and everything, you can actually just do what you love doing. And then if you're any good at it, you know, that itself will gain some traction. And then if you do that to the best of your ability with all your sort of heart and soul, then, you know, if you're lucky enough, you may end up just getting by and making a living from it. So I think the key thing really is to always remember that the music itself is why you're doing it. You know, that has to be the reason why you're doing it, for no other reason. But also, you know, don't take yourself too seriously, because it's a ridiculous thing to do for a living. Get on stage and prance about, you know, and play a song to people going, hey, look what I've just written. You're going to love this. I mean, how ridiculous is that? So, you know, just enjoy it and be grateful that some people do enjoy it and like what you do. And the icing on the cake is that I've always been able to make music with people I'm very, very close to, you know, my best friends in the Mustangs and the Milkmen, and we have an absolute blast on stage and off. So, you know, it's you know, the playing and the writing and everything, that's the easy part. You know, the hard part is all the long drives and the lifting of the gear and the, you know, organizing everything and all, you know, maybe we do need a manager, maybe, and some roadies.
You're talking yourself into it.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
If only they were free. It costs a lot to stay in the industry, doesn't it? That's the thing.
If there's anyone out there who wants to manage the Milkmen for free, get in touch. Yeah.
Well, they might want a 20% cut.
They might. Well, we can negotiate. We can negotiate.
Oh, harsh. I was thinking about stepping up myself, but no, it's got to be 20%. Maybe
20%. You get more
to you.
20%. That would go 5 ways. Brian Epstein got 25. Brian Epstein got 25% of the Beatles stuff. So he made more than the Beatles did on some things.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Mm.
Scandal. Yeah. Scandalous just debacle. And let's not go into Elvis's manager. Let's not do that either.
Oh wow, that was a whole different thing. Yeah, I think
Elvis.
He was on over 50% for the first part of Elvis's career.
Mm. That's a good film, isn't it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. He was very good, wasn't he, as Elvis? I can't remember his name. Austin something, isn't it?
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler, very, very good as the King. I do love the King, not so much the Colonel. Right. It has been an absolute pleasure to chat and play your music on the show.
Yeah, it's fun. Thank you.
To see you again on the YouTube shenanigans that we do. So thank you very much for taking time out, Adam, from The Milkmen.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks, Emma. Enjoyed it.